Hey, my name's Scott, and today I'm going to go through off-camera flash and the cheapest way to get yourself going with a setup. So I've had to recently buy a new flash for the studio. Not so much that I use speedlights in the studio, but we use them for workshops. And I was on Amazon and I found this one here from Neewer. It's called the NW565EX, which is a catchy name. But for £60, you get the speedlight and the trigger and receiver system. And I was skeptical. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't convinced that this was going to work. But it's actually an incredibly good light. Now, when I started out in photography about a decade ago, I told everybody that I was an available light photographer, which translates to, I don't understand flash. Flash is terrifying, it's daunting, it seems complicated, and I'd say it took me a good 8 years to really get my head around it to a point now where I don't think about it and it just makes sense. I'm sure some people will learn much quicker than I did. I'm not the greatest with tech, but hopefully not being good with tech is going to help the rest of you who aren't good with the tech get in on this. So this speedlight here has all the functionality that you'll need if you're a wedding photographer, an events photographer, you want to take some portraits outside, inside, whatever it is, this will do the job. You need a couple of other bits, namely a light stand, an umbrella bracket, and maybe some sort of modifier. I'm going to chuck some links in the description to explain where you can get those cheap, without breaking the bank. Unless you're a jobbing professional, or unless you have a load of money and you want to spend it, which if you do, go for it. This is probably the best way to go. Now, when I started out, I didn't have a lot of money, but also the internet was pretty new. It wasn't new. Photography on the internet was new. We didn't share things like we do now. It was all top secret, hush hush. I'm not telling you how I did this. You might steal my client kind of cloak and dagger world. So I started out with pocket wizards and Canon speedlights, and I set up with two of these, and one of these cost about £600. And it was eye-watering. And also, I didn't really understand what I was doing. I was just going out buying stuff. I went to a camera shop and I was like, please help me. I have no idea what I'm doing. How do I make this all work? And it cost me a fortune. It then took me another year to save up to buy a second light, by which point I'd figured out there were cheap ways to do it. And this right now is perhaps the cheapest and best, a good balance between the two. So you get what's called TTL with this flash, which means through the lens, and it's a metering system. So when you've got this attached to your camera without the triggers, you're taking pictures at a wedding, it will send a little quick flash out first, meter the scene for you, and then go, hey, you need this much light to take this picture. If you're doing any event work, any run and gun work where this is on top of the camera, it is absolutely amazing to have that feature. And I don't think there's been a speedlight for £60 yet, which lets you have that. It also has a strobe effect on it, and I'm going to try and do a really bad demonstration. If you imagine one of these dancing pictures where you see the dancer swirling around as my dancing hand, and then freezing at the end, and you get little stops within that image where you can see the dancer freezing, or sometimes you use it in sports photography. It's done with strobes, and in this it lets you control how many bursts of light there are, how many hertz of light there are. I won't go into too much detail because it's a little bit complicated, it's also a bit niche, but for £60, I would not expect that functionality in this speedlight. So definitely advise this. I've used it a few times. It works great. I mean, I'm a bit blown away that it's £60. However, it is not as good as what was a £400, £500 or £600 speedlight. And if you're in dollars, just add a little bit extra on. So if this is £60, it's probably 68 to 70 US dollars. I don't know about Canadian dollars, but I'm heading there soon, so I'm sure I'm soon going to find out. But yeah, there are a few drawbacks to this. One is the build quality. It's pretty well built, but it's not as good as a Canon speedlight. I'm sure Nikon, Sony, and all the other brands, their speedlights are equally good. The battery door is a little bit flimsy. I can see that breaking, especially with me because I'm clumsy. The latch on the bottom which attaches it is one of these screw things. Now, a lot of people don't mind them. They drive me mental though. So with this Canon one, you just click in and out and it's a nice, simple system. With these, I find that I over-tighten them because I'm cack-handed and I always think more force is better. And then I rip my fingers to pieces trying to undo them and get them back off the camera. But for the price difference, it's a no-brainer. The color consistency is not great either with these, but it's not horrendous. So unless you're shooting e-commerce where it's got to be, every shot exactly the same, or some sort of commercial work, I would absolutely buy these. If, however, you go, well, do you know what? I'm doing all right at the moment. I'm making a nice bit of money, got a good day job, my photography business is going well, whatever it might be, and you want to buy something better, the brand name flashes are brilliant, but for a little bit more, you can buy something really fancy from Elinchrom or Profoto, which will just open up a whole new world of off-camera flash. But if you're like me when I started out, £60, it's not small amount of money. You know, if I lost £60, I'd be pretty devastated. But it's also not so much money that you're going to feel absolutely violated when you break it, which you inevitably will. The other great application for these is weddings. Now, when I used to shoot weddings and I've got 5 of my Canon speed lights around and I see the drunken uncle walking towards it, I'm just thinking, oh my word, my entire profit margin from this day is about to be knocked over and smashed across the floor. When these get knocked over and smashed across the floor, it's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. So there's definitely, you know, a place for these in anyone's kit bag, regardless of, you know, your financial situation at the moment or, you know, how far invested you are into photography. But if you're just starting out, you need your first ever flash, dive straight in, get one of these with the triggers. Even if you're not ready to take the flash off the camera yet, you'll have it there for future use. You will need 4 AAA batteries for the trigger and receiver combo. And then you'll need 4 AA batteries for this. Amazon do their own Amazon Basics ones. They're really good, really good. And then if you are buying this for an off-camera flash and you have a little bit more money to spend on it and you find that AA batteries don't quite cut it, you can pick up these massive orange battery packs. In hindsight, I should have bought them in black. They look ridiculous. But this is a Godox one. I think I've got a Neewer one as well. They're all exactly the same. There's a company called Cheetah, Pixapro, all the same thing. You simply plug this cable in, straight into your speed light here, and you can fire this flash all day. I mean, I've used these power packs about a week before that, recharging them. They're about £120, so assuming it's the same price in the States, it's probably about $150. Definitely worth buying. You can do a lot of shooting, and if you really, like me, hate charging AA batteries. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it was of some use, and hopefully it makes you a bit more confident when you go in to buy your first speed light or your first off-camera flash setup. I'm going to chuck a load of links in the description showing you where you can get them for different brands, and also how to purchase the umbrella brackets and umbrella, and all these little bits that you'll need to go with it. Because when I first started, I could not work out how to attach this to a light stand. It was like a foreign language to me. I hope this was of some use to you. If it was, and if you like this sort of content and you want to learn more about photography, please do subscribe. I'm trying to put out a couple of videos a week at the moment. I'm going to get some more hands-on practical videos going on, as well as some more gear review type videos. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.